So now let's start with our new topic, which is Bohr's model of atom. So first of all, let's study about the main postulates of the Bohr's model of atom. Students, basically the drawbacks of the Rutherford model of the atom, and to explain the spectral lines of the hydrogen, Niels Bohr, a Danish physicist, in 1913 proposed a model of the atom which was based on the Planck's quantum theory of radiation. Planck's quantum theory I had taught you in the earlier class. Okay, so it was based on the Planck's quantum theory of radiation, and the model was named as the Bohr's model of atom. The first postulates of the Bohr's model of atom was that an atom consists of a small, heavy, positively charged nucleus in the center, surrounded by the electrons, and the electrons in an atom revolve around the nucleus only in a certain selected circular paths, which have a fixed value of radius and energy. Okay, so these parts are called the orbits, and these orbits are associated with definite energies and are called energy shells or energy levels. They are numbered as 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. Or alternatively, these are designated as KLMN shells. Okay, so you had studied about the KLMN shells. So basically, it was given by the Bohr's model. Next point in his model of atom was that the energy of an electron in the orbit does not change with time. In other words, as long as the electron remains in a particular orbit, it does not lose or gain energy. This means that the energy of the electron in a particular energy shell remains constant. Therefore, these orbits are also called as stationary states or allowed energy states. Okay, so the term stationary does not mean that the electron is stationary, but it means that the energy of the electron does not change with time. This accounts for the stability of an atom. Thus, the stability of the atom was explained by him, that how it was stable. Next point in his postulate was only those orbits which were permitted in which the angular momentum of the electron is a whole number multiple of h by 2 pi. H here is your Planck's constant. Okay, so an electron, like any other moving body in a circular path, has an angular momentum equal to mvr. As you all know that the formula for the angular momentum is mvr. Okay, so basically for any moving body in a circular orbit has an angular momentum of mvr, where m is the mass of the electron moving with the velocity v, and r is the radius of the orbit. Thus, according to the Bohr model, the angular momentum mvr is a whole number multiple of h by 2 pi. Okay, according to this postulate, this is equal to h by 2 pi. So here we can write that mvr is equal to h by 2 pi. Okay, nh by 2 pi, where n is 1, 2 or 3, it could be any integer. In other words, the angular momentum of electron may be h by 2 pi, where n equals to 1, or it could be h by 2 pi, it could be h by pi when n equals to 2, or it could be 3h by 2 pi when n equals to 3, etc. Okay, so this is how the postulate therefore introduced the concept of quantization of angular momentums. Okay, so the next postulate in his model was that energy is emitted or absorbed only when the electrons jump from one energy level to another. Okay, so basically when energy is supplied to an atom, its electron absorbs one or more quantum of energy and jump to the higher energy levels, and the higher energy level state of electron is called its excited state. For example, let us assume that delta is E is the basically the difference in the energies of the two levels, and let us assume the energy of the higher level is 2 and the energy of the lower level is E1. Okay, so when we will take out the difference between these two energy levels, then we will get the change in energy or you can say that we can get the difference in the energy of the two levels of the atom. Okay, so this means that emission and absorption of energy occur only in discrete value. In other words, the energy of the electron cannot change gradually and continuously, but changes as the electron jumps from one energy level to another, and not in any value. This explains the fact that atomic spectra are discontinuous.